The following segment is sponsored by Creative Society.
Going into the colder months, many of us are considering our heating options and how to save money. Overall, gas furnaces tend to be cheaper to run than electric furnaces, but electric heat pumps are cheaper to run than both types of furnaces. Sean McGraw from American Veteran AC is here to break it down for us this morning. Hi, Sean.
Good morning. We'll see if we can not confuse everybody more.
Yeah, well, first, let's talk about the least expensive heating option, heat pumps. Those struggle when it's colder than 40 degrees, but they're very efficient. Tell us why.
Well, an entry model heat pump, yes, it will struggle around 40 degrees outside or a little bit below that. Reason being is on a heat pump, like here's one in our training room here, is it's actually transferring the heat that's outside, even though it might be 30 degrees outside, it's absorbing that heat through the coil and it's moving it to your indoor unit and releasing that heat from there. So we're not creating any heat, we're just exchanging heat from outside and moving it inside. With that being said, lower efficiency model units, they will start to struggle around 35, 40 degrees, and you'll have to bring on auxiliary heat, electric heat strip to help it out. Higher end, like I got at my house, just happens to be that I know a little bit about this, so I put it in there, mine runs great all year. Electric heat never comes on. And I like it better because it keeps it a good, even temperature. So even if it's 5 degrees outside, I'm still putting 98 degrees out of my vents without any assistance from anything else.
Well, gas furnaces are the moderate option we're talking about. A lot of homeowners prefer them because they provide immediate warm air. What makes them less expensive to run than electric furnaces?
Mainly because of the temp differential they get, or we call it a temperature rise. So on a heat pump, you know what, like I said, on medium grade heat pump, you're not going to get that much of a temperature rise off of it because you're transferring the heat. But inside of a furnace, you're actually creating the heat. So by the means of itself, it's blowing a flame through the heat exchanger and it's heating it up through the heat exchanger. So it's not uncommon to get 130 degrees out of a furnace regardless of what the outdoor temperature is. So it will heat it a lot faster. Myself personally, I don't really like that much because I don't like temperature swings in the house. But a lot of folks that had a furnace in the past, they don't want to go back to a heat pump because they're used to that just instant heat, which does feel good when it's, you walk in the house and it's 5 degrees outside. And
yeah. Sure. And finally, the most expensive to operate is the electric furnace. Why do we pay the most for that option?
Well, electric furnace is nothing more than resistive windings going across. So it's using 240 volts generally, and almost like a hair dryer or anything like that. It's using those windings to heat up the air. Usually you'll get that first smell in the summertime or in the wintertime of dust burning off of them and everything else from the rest of the year. But yeah, they are extremely inefficient to operate just because electricity is so expensive now. One thing with heat pumps too that you'll notice with folks is the repair bill on the heat pump itself when it's not operating properly becomes really inexpensive when you didn't know that you were heating your house with only electric heat for a whole month or 2 months and you're getting a $600 power bill. Sure.
Well, when comparing heating options, there are really a lot of factors there. What else do we need to consider?
It's really what you have available to you as well. So like at my place, we don't have natural gas out to my house. Propane's, the price fluctuates so much, even though propane is relatively, it operates just as good as a furnace does on natural gas. The price fluctuation and everything else, that tends to be pretty heavy. Also, same thing with fuel oil. That tends to be really expensive as well, mainly for the delivery charges and stuff like that. So when it comes into that, really I would look into having a heat pump installed versus paying the delivery charges on propane and the fuel oil. But with that said as well, it also depends on what you have available at your house. If you only have a 60 amp or 100 amp service at your house, well, now you're looking at having to upgrade the electricity or your service in order to install a heat pump. So there's a lot of factors to include on there. Really, we just like the opportunity to sit down and break it down in your home and find out what's best for you.
That's it. You can walk us through all our options and tell us what's out there. Give us the overview of American Veteran Air Conditioning and your mission.
Well, our mission's never really changed. We are I'm a veteran. A majority of the folks I hire are veterans. And through the time and service and everything that we've done there, our mission has always been on the people that we're serving, first off, and on each other. So we do the same thing within our company. Our mission is you. We're serving you. We need to make sure we accomplish that mission and each other. We're looking out for each other. And it really just creates a great dynamic of a workplace and looking out for each other. And the end result is the customer really wins. We're always trying to be a blessing to anybody that we come across. And I believe strong-heartedly in that not just in our company, but as a community as a whole, that's what we're called to do. That's what we're designed to do, is to help each other out.
Well, people can count on you to help them out, and they know you're going to get the job done right. They can contact American Veteran at the number on screen, 435-0822, or the website, AmericanVeteranAC.com. Sean McGraw from American Veteran Air Conditioning, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.